Hello and what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel. You're watching Miguel EDC, the channel where we talk everything EDC gear here. And today we're checking out not one but two different knives from two different brands. We got Netfoss, More Than Sharp, and we got Lothar, right? Looks like we have a folder and a fixed blade. So let's start here with this fixie here. Let's see what this one's all about. And doing the honors, man, I got this beast right here. This is the Tristache V2, Tristate EDC's design. This thing is dropping on September 25th. At 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I got an overview video here in the channel and link down below so you guys can check it out. Cannot recommend this beast of a knife enough, man. This thing is insane and super affordable at either $149 for the titanium version or $139 for the G10 or Ultim version. So cannot go wrong with either or, and around $150 for the price. It is absolutely priced to sell. But there we go. I got this one open here, and then I got this other one. So let's see what these two are all about. These are going to be in the budget category, right? Very affordable end of things. So we got the Lothar. Looks like we're looking at obviously a fixed blade. We got a wiping cloth there. We got some paperwork, and we have a screwdriver. Nice, they include a Phillips head screwdriver there. But without further ado, let's see what this Lothar fixed blade is all about. Looks like we have kind of like a bead, little lanyard going on here, right? Or collar, if you would, for neck carry. It's nice to see. And then we do have this pocket clip on the sheath, which you can turn around 90 degrees if you want for horizontal or vertical carry. But here we go. All right, time to check out this knife, shall we? Well, I don't think I've checked out fixed blades from Lothar before. This might be the first, if I'm being honest here. And ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at the Fox. A couple of things I'm noticing right away. We got a blacked out D2. Love to see a good coat on D2 steel since it's not the most corrosion resistant steel out there. That's obviously good to see. We got a flat grind drop point blade here, looking the best. Then we have G10 on the handles, which very interestingly, they put 3 different speed holes. Kind of looks like the exhaust on the new Acura Integra Type R, if you know what I mean. If you're a car enthusiast, I'm sure you got that reference, but 2 bigger holes with a smaller one in the middle. And then G10 that still has some lines, right? As if the speed holes weren't personality enough, right? You still got some lines milled into the G10 as well on both sides for additional personality and grip as well. It is going to be a full tang construction. We can see the tang all the way around, except minus the holes, of course, because those are, see-through. We're going to have a lanyard solution back there for my lanyard people. And then we have gold accented hardware, right? TA all around. Nice to see that as well. All right, checking the ergos here. I gotta tell you, this actually feels pretty good on hand. My thumb just locks up right here, right on this jimping that we have on the blade there. Actually feels really good. Right on the tang of the blade, we have good grip there, good grip down here. The handle kind of curves down as well. So that just feels really good. Again, 4-finger grip, average size hands, not the biggest, not the smallest. Full purchase all day, and we're ready to do some work now. I can put my thumb there if I want to also, right? That also works. This bit right here is going to be my finger guard. We have a plunger grind there. That's good to avoid a smile from developing, at least a few sharp ends in. That's good. And overall, just a very straightforward design. Of course, we're going to be doing our scientific cutting test here in a moment. Sheath experience, right? Goes in and out pretty good. I want to say minus the bead lanyard here. Don't feel any more rattling of any kind. And again, this could be a neck knife if you wanted to put the bead here around your neck. Or you can, if you choose, take the bead off. It's one of those you can easily, put on and off here with this sort of mechanism, kind of what you see on your ceiling fans type of style, if you know what I mean. But yeah, absolutely good experience there with a sheath, drain hole, and a pocket clip that you can adjust. Again, this thing should be pretty affordable. Again, link down below. But let's check out the other model here. This one is from Netfoss. And, okay, first things first, we got some utility blades. So that's looking interesting there so far. Then we have some paperwork. And we got this bag right here. And man, oh man, they have, hold on a second. Do they have an out the front utility knife? We got to find out what this thing is here. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and take a look. We got this sort of Alcantara looking pouch here. And here is the knife. Now, everybody and their mothers are doing a utility blade these days. The craze is absolutely taking off. And I want to say, do we have aluminum? It definitely feels like we have aluminum, right, going on this one. Carbon fiber inlays, that's also a nice touch. Why did we have to do Netfoss big old branding, billboarding in the middle? I don't know. Seems like maybe they could have done away with that. They do have a very nice end logo, which I much prefer as compared to the whole branding. But even the aluminum here is nice, and you see this micro milling, the way this thing is made, right? Good seal here with some additional lines here for grip. Love to see that all the way around. And then of course here's the switch at the top. And a very nice green, right? Definitely do dig the green. Got these grooves here, right? The little curvature from my index finger, middle finger, right? The rest of the fingers. So that absolutely helps. It's a little bit on the taller side. But here we go. If you guys are ready, I'm ready. Ooh, come on now. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to the acoustics there for a second. There's like a little ding going on there. All right, out the front utility blade. I think Chavez has an out the front utility blade. I think maybe one other brand, but at least that I know of. There could be more, so let me know in the comments if I'm missing any. But I know Chavez for sure. And this is very interesting the way they did this one here, where we have very sort of futuristic looking casing for actually holding on to the utility blade itself. We'll take a look at that in a moment. I'm noticing the thick pocket clip, which this could be easily reversible if you needed to. So just undo the 2 screws, turn it around, 180, and then just mount it the other way. So easily reversible with the linear hole back there. But now, let's see. We have, I want to say stainless steel. Has to be. There we go. Or at least some sort of steel. Somebody was saying in the comments, Miguel, it doesn't necessarily mean it's stainless steel. It could just be steel. And I'm like, you know what? That's right. So we just got steel, kind of a mounting here for the blade. We got, of course, aluminum here. Still getting a little bit of pull from the hardware. But other than that, maybe some pull from the inside, some liners, steel pocket clip. And the real question is, how does this work? Now, I have a theory, and this is just how intuitive this is. I haven't even looked at the instructions, but you have this tab right here, and this tab is holding onto the blade from this side. So I'm assuming if you push here or put down, then you can easily remove the blade. Look at that. How easy was that? Right, piece of cake, same thing if I want to load the blade, or eventually the half of the blade is going to go dull, so you're going to turn it around, use the other half. So it's going to look something like this. Loading it back on, let go here until it clicks in place. Bam, click. Once it's clicked, it's not going anywhere, right? There's a little bit of rattling there, kind of like what you get from most OTFs. At least some of the older ones. I know some of the newer Microtechs have been doing away with the wiggle and rattle and stuff like that, but this is a budget OTF razor blade, so there's no issues there. But it is, yeah, definitely in place, not going anywhere. And again, very simple. You just push on this tab with your thumb and remove the blade. And it looks like they give you a good amount of blades. Well, we have at least, I'm sure, a good amount. Maybe we can take them out right here. I want to say, if I had to guess, maybe in the ballpark of maybe around 10 utility blades or so. So very easy to take them out. They're spring loaded. At least you have quite the number of utility blades to replace, which is one of the perks of utility blades, right? You don't have to worry about sharpening or dulling an edge, because you just always swap it around, flip it around, or just put on a brand new blade. All right, there we go. That is locked and loaded. And I actually have a very few to compare this one with here in just a moment. But I want to say the action is pretty good, as you would expect from an OTF. Yeah, I don't see anything out of place, and I'm surprised they pulled this thing off in such a nice, cohesive way, if I'm being honest. Well, let's go ahead and do some size comparisons really quick. All right, we got this guy here. Actually, let's do the fixed blade first. I want to kind of do these separate for a reason. All right, I want to do like a switch blade, like a utility blade comparison as well. Well, we got the MSI here. We got the Stitch. Obviously, those are going to be a little bit longer knives, no doubt. Here we got the PM2 and we got the Para 3. All right, somewhere in between, but I think closer to the Para 3. You guys be the judge there. Demko AD 20.5 and the Kunwu Chad. Right, somewhere in between those two for sure. And as far as the razor blade here, right, out the front razor blade, we have quite a few. We have the new just released on Amazon E20. Right, this one is a razor blade and then a few other things as well. Kind of like a razor blade, kind of slash multi-tool in a way. We of course got the USA made Rivery Zero, very elegant, right? I guess in a way this could be an out the front, even though you're moving one piece, the blade is behind it, so it could technically fall under that category. That is technically an OTF, but it's a manual OTF, so You can roll with that. So you got those two. And I got two more here to wrap things up. We got the Drop Bear, Kizer Drop Bear Utility. Absolutely one of my favorites here with the acrylic see-through scales. And they're also micro milled. And another crazy one is the OKNIFE U1 Ultra. This one has a, I want to say ceramic blade if I'm not mistaken, which that thing is absolutely insane how sharp it is. So here we go, side by side. These are obviously folders, not out the fronts like this one is and the other two models we just looked at. But you know, you got choices out there, right, with the ever-growing popularity of the utility blade. But of course, let's go ahead and get scientific with it here, shall we? Well, we got the Fox model, we got the utility razor blade right there, and then we got some paper and cardboard. So D2 steel on this one. Bam, boom. Absolutely going through that paper there with no issues. Switching over to the razor blade model here. Again, piece of paper. Oh man, come on now. Obviously, that's not going to be an issue at all. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, you know, with a razor blade, you do run into, you know, like the cutting path is very short, but the geometry is very slim. So, you know, kind of have some pros and cons there. But yeah, and anything that is actually cutting, I mean, this thing is a laser. Switching back to the fixed blade here, D2 steel again, cutting diagonally for better performance. Bam, boom, and then no grip. There we go, yeah. Made some quick work there, no doubt. Switching over to the OTF razor blade here. A little bit of this cardboard is dual wall, so we're gonna go left to right. I mean, not even sweating it. Where the only thing I wish we had here was, oh, we can actually even forward choke all the way up here, which is nice. The little tab that you use to change the blade, it's a little bit on the thin side, so I don't like putting my thumb there. So putting my thumb a little bit further up feels a little bit better. But yeah, needless to say, it cuts so good, no doubt about it. Guys, rate these two in the comments on a scale from 1 through 10, 10 being the sharpest. You all let me know. All right, guys, well, there you have them. That is the Fox model here from Lothar. I think, if I'm not mistaken, perhaps their first fixed blade, right? Very elegant. Lothar typically has a little bit slightly higher end. Still, you know, budget nice, but a little bit higher end. We have Netfoss here with their first OTF utility blade, right? Which also, again, looks and feels really good. Both of these are going to be very affordable. I'll have them all linked down below so you guys can check out prices, availability, and variants. And most importantly, I want to hear your thoughts on these two. What do you guys like about them? What do you love about them? Is there anything you dislike about them? Let me know, and let's hang out in the comment section down below. Hope you guys really enjoyed this one. If you made it to the end, you're the real MVP. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one, either this one or this one. Peace.